stuff. Hey there, audit and fraud friends and family. Hopefully, you can see me and hear me because I know this doesn't look like my normal setup. But look, I got a question for you. I know you see Thomas sitting next to me, but we're just going to ignore that he's there right now because I got a question because we always start off with a question, right? I want you to think about the last time you saw a professional athlete. You ever met one in person? Maybe it was on a screen, but maybe you were lucky enough to see them in person. Those people have presence, right? Like when you see them, they're larger than life. I actually got to see, don't tell anybody, as I tell everybody, I got to see OJ in person. I actually saw Shaq in person. Man. But think about the last time you saw a celebrity in person. Maybe they had a certain look about them, a certain stature, right? They look like they're in control. Now, we assume that just because they look polished, that they should carry themselves a certain way and that they know certain things. And sometimes we give them special privileges that we don't give other people. So my question for you today is, if you had the talent to be a pro, but not necessarily the contract, how would you behave? So you got the talent, but you don't have the contract yet. How would you behave? Would you act like a rock star or would you be this humble person? So that's my question for you today. If you can see and hear us, because we're on location. All right, are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome to the Friday Fraudster podcast. Join them as they discuss sad, funny, and sometimes disturbing fraud stories. Be sure to catch past episodes on your favorite podcasting platform or go to www.fridayfraudster.com.
Okay, so wait. So here's what we're laughing at. Stephanie said, whoa, you're both in the same room. We're not, Stephanie.
This is totally AI.
Totally AI. It's just an illusion. And so look, you guys. So Stephanie was supposed to be on here with us today, and she was like, "I've actually got a job. Like she actually works." She was like, "I can't do it today. I actually work. You slackers." So I mean, and she wasn't wrong. I mean, we are slackers, but and she wasn't wrong. She actually does work. So
speak for yourself.
Okay, I'm a slacker. And she said, "Happy Friday from Idaho." See, Thomas gets to see kind of how I run the show. Think about this, you guys. I said this before. I'm on air talking to you all, and I'm running everything, and I'm looking at my notes and cheating and all that other good stuff. And Bob, we got to get you back on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bob said we're loud and clear. Good, because this is my microphone. This is the mic, and it's supposed to be a powerful mic, So that's great. That is absolutely great. I'm assuming this is Carol. I don't have my cheap phone on LinkedIn right now, but Carol's laughing at us because we're in the same room. Okay, wait. So back to the question I asked though. Any of you guys, you ever met a celebrity?
Kind of a local celebrity. What was his name? Matt Bullard. Matt Bullard was a Rocket back in the 90s, Houston Rocket for basketball. And I was working in the Great American Cookie Company, great cookies, by the way, in the Woodlands Mall. And all of a sudden, this 10-foot dude just like walks up and just, how you doing? And but very polite, very nice. I tried to just treat him like a normal person if he was, 15 feet tall, and just went about his way. But yeah, how about you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, so yes, I was about to say something else. So I think I said I met Shaq. Well, I saw Shaq, and I looked up at him. I said, "Hey."
Did he hear you?
I don't know. Still trying to figure that one out. And then OJ Simpson. I actually have OJ's autograph.
I thought you were gonna say his gloves.
Oh, they don't fit. You must quit. And then back in the day, so when I was young, we used to go to Atlanta a lot, and we used to go to a lot of dance clubs in Atlanta. So I've met quite a few rappers back in the day.
All right.
Hmm. But yeah, but think about it though. When you see a celebrity, sometimes you get starstruck
Absolutely.
and you end up doing things for them that you wouldn't otherwise do. Oh, here's a good one too. Remember that old group, 69 Boys?
Nope, don't know that one. Sorry.
They had this rap song. It was all over the airwaves. I can't remember the name of it, but whoop, there it is.
Yes. Okay.
That group.
All right.
So okay. So when I was young, I was I worked at Burger King and I worked at the drive-through.
Yep.
They came through the drive-through one time because they were doing a concert. And here's what's interesting: the manager told us to give them free food, and I was like, "They're millionaires. Why do we, you
Yeah.
know?" So we do stuff like that for superstars, right? Why do they get free food?
We want to be liked by.
I don't care if you like me or not. By the time you're gone, you're not giving me any money. Okay, so for you guys. Oh, wait a minute now, Bob. Hold on. See now, Stephanie said she's met a few of them, but didn't even tell us who. Come on, spill the beans.
Big.
But Bob now, Bob said he met Kid. Oh, he was guessing if I had met Kid and Play or if I was talking about Kid. Oh, wait a minute. Or did you meet Kid and Play, Bob? Bob remembers Tootsie Roll. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. It was tag team. No, it was two though. So it was one group called 95 South and one group called Tag Team. They both did the song. One was Woot and one was Whoop. Don't ask me how I know that. Just
Kid and Play. What movie were they in? There was like one
House
or two.
Party.
Was it House Party?
Oh,
I thought there was
yeah.
something else too.
It was a House Party 1, 2, and 3.
Of course.
Because I was sitting there thinking, did you live in my neighborhood? Oh wow. But even think about it. When they walk the red carpet, they get a lot of gifts and attention and all kinds of stuff. That kind of makes me just, I don't know, a little upset.
I got a gift from the Houston IIA chapter on Monday.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I actually got to speak at the conference, and I was given a power pack. One of those kind of like pretty good size, powerful ones that could charge like even your laptop and all. So thank you to the Houston IIA. That was a very unexpected gift. So sometimes it's nice to get them.
Okay. So yeah, we tend to treat celebrities kind of special. They get access to things that other people wouldn't ordinarily get access to. Oh my goodness, Bob is taking me back. Wait a minute, hold on. Bob said he did meet Kid and Play. Was Kid's hair as high as it, like it just, because I'm kind of getting there, right? Like, and Bob, where did you grow up? Bob said Quad City DJs. I remember them too.
Yeah.
That was the 95 South Quad City DJs. Okay, hold on. Stephanie met Mr. T. You met Ernest Borgnine? Whoa. Okay, now okay. And Michael Landon? Oh, wait a minute.
Man,
She said Michael Landon was a jerk.
Oh, that ain't cool. Can we just erase that comment? I don't want to know that.
Yes, Benita, we're in the same studio waiting for you to come back. So that all three of us can be in the same studio. Make another trip down south. Make another trip down south. Okay. So celebrities get treated special quite often. But have you ever known a celebrity to impersonate another celebrity?
No. Unless it was like a comedy skit, back whenever SNL was funny, something like that.
That's a good point. Back when SNL was funny. Ooh, because it was at one point in time, right? Okay, now, here's the surprise of the day. This one gets... Bob used to be a DJ.
That's awesome. That is fantastic.
Bob. Oh, that is so awesome.
And apparently, if he's met some of these big names, he was actually pretty good at his job.
Probably so. Now, here's the question. Bob, what kind of turntables did you have? Because there's only one brand that's the right answer if you were really a DJ back in the day. There's only one brand that is the right answer. We'll see if Bob comes up with the right answer.
He's Googling it quickly.
Ooh, okay, wait. Stephanie said, "Oh, Ernie was her grandpa's best friend." Really?
Very cool.
Oh wait, I'm still on Bob being a DJ now. You see, I keep looking forward because I can't see. Y'all, I'm blind. I'm so blind. Okay, but Nita met Jimmy Fallon. Okay,
All
okay.
right. All right.
So, oh boy, yep. Lisa hit it on the head. A celebrity impersonating another celebrity. That would be Drewski. Yep. That would, you know who Drewski is?
No, I don't know.
Oh, but look him up afterwards. You are going to laugh, especially at the con. So let me know. Let me just go ahead and just fill you in. So Drewski he's a really funny guy. He's really funny, and he's one of those social media stars, but he does a lot of skits, and he recently impersonated Erica Kirk. And so it made a lot of people mad. And I'm like, come on, it's just jokes. Because it was funny. Like it was an extremely funny
Okay.
impersonation. Bob says he mixed, he didn't scratch. Well, Bob. So, okay, you know what I thought you were going to say, Bob? I thought you were going to say the Technique 12,000s, or 1200, sorry. The Techniques, you remember those, Bob? Everybody wanted some of the Techniques, man. Okay. So
we're so off topic.
so okay. So back to the topic a little bit though. Did I ask, would you treat a celebrity any special, any different? Would you?
I don't know if you asked or not. I answered in my head, but
Okay. So would you though? Would you treat a celebrity any different?
I try not to. I like to think I wouldn't.
Okay.
You know, especially there's a lot. I know we hear about like the ones that are jerks and such so easily, but there's a lot that just want to like be left alone, right? Like I remember back in the day, J.J. Watt became the celebrity here in Houston, and he like remembers the day that he suddenly couldn't go to the grocery store anymore because people were just mobbing him. Like just leave the dude alone and let him grocery shop, right? So I would like to think, maybe I'll give him a smile, maybe a slight nod, but that's it. Just let them, now if I have an opportunity to, thank them for whatever they've done or say I like a movie or whatever, sure. But I'll leave them alone and, just let them live their life.
Okay. So Stephanie is saying they are just people. Now, if Lisa is still here, Lisa's going to recognize this story because she posted about it recently too. So let's just kind of walk right into it. Now, some of you think that we went off on some tangents, and if you think that, then how long have you been watching? Because we tie it back together every single week, even though it feels like we've gone way off the deep end. Because in today's story, a former football player, well, let's just say he put on a pair of designer shades, walked into a South Florida bank, and introduced himself as someone else. So he impersonated another football player. And the craziest part about it was the bank manager didn't even ask for a second ID. As a matter of fact, they asked for autographs. Now, on top of giving him autographs, well, they gave him loans to the tune of millions of dollars while he was impersonating actual celebrity football players. What do you think about that, man?
Again, they're just people, which means they do wrong things, they commit fraud, they have their own self-interest a lot of times. The fact, let's be real, if it's a loan, they're buying a house, asking for a job, why are you treating them any different than anybody else? Yeah, that's dumbfounding me. Getting his autograph, and I wonder how, like, whenever they first asked for his autograph and he was posing as somebody else, I wonder how good that autograph was.
Look, before even the autograph, how good was his disguise? Look, guys, he wore disguises. He put on wigs and wore sunglasses and shades. But how many other celebrities can you actually look like?
Well, so now this was college, right? I don't know if you've said that yet or not, but he was college. So I don't know how well I would necessarily recognize college player. I'm not real
True.
big into, I've never been big into college sports. So if someone in the room said, oh, that's such and such, I wouldn't question it. So all he had to do was really do one person, maybe two, and the others might not recognize like the facial features. So maybe not.
So I was okay.
Yep. What happened?
I was gonna say a joke, but I don't know if I should.
I'm trying to avoid also a very obvious joke on this one.
Well, I mean, I think I can say it though.
Go for it. Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna look. Bob probably already has guessed it by now. So is Stephanie, and but Lisa probably has too. Hey, everybody that watches is pretty smart in the studio. But look, okay, but maybe I'll make a joke that's kind of a tangent to it so that people can figure it out. Have you seen Joe Biden recently and the thing that he's in trouble for that he really shouldn't be in trouble for? You hadn't seen
Actually,
that?
no, I don't know that one.
So recently he was on the speaking circuit again and he was talking and there was a guy in the audience and he said, "Hey, you look kind of like Barack. Come on up here, man."
Okay, so it is along the exact same lines I was thinking.
Yeah, I knew what you were thinking. I knew exactly what you were thinking. Oh my God. Bonita was like, let me see who I could impersonate for millions. And then Lisa was like, hey, what in the world?
Got an ant in here.
What kind of place is this where ants are falling from the ceiling? Lisa said they are not just people, lots of capital being a celebrity. Yeah. And Bob is like, they didn't know? They didn't know. They did not know. Oh. Wait, hold on, Lisa. We don't look that okay, never mind. Lisa got the joke. I knew something. I was kidding. Oh, there goes the neighborhood.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. This is recorded. I am not saying it.
Bob, thank goodness it was not a fire ant, but it just kind of, I don't know what it came from.
I don't know.
Okay. So let's talk about what he did to get millions of dollars in other celebrities' names. So obviously I kind of gave some of it away. He would dress up and impersonate other celebrities. Trying not to say the obvious. Here's what he ended up doing. The fraud didn't start at the bank. They really were good at this thing. It started with the Secretary of State's office. So here's what they did. A guy named Luther Davis and his partner, C.J. Evans, they registered shell companies in Georgia with the names that sounded like the athlete's personal brands.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You're right, allegedly. Okay. And so for example, they would use the player's initials and then call it management company or something that sounded kind of like that. Then they also had a registered agent company. Now, one of these companies was called Deed Chasers. Deed Chasers. Okay, we've already talked about deed fraud before, right? Why would you name your so that was the registered agent for those fake player affiliated businesses, right? And then when you think about it, when you're that rich, you don't just walk into a bank and get a loan. You have a broker, right? So specialty lenders. I used to work for a specialty lender back in the day when I was, fresh out of college. Well, not fresh out, but a few years out.
So pencil, paper.
Oh, yeah.
Typewriter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stone.
Yeah.
Abacus for adding stuff up. I'm telling you. So now you got these specialty lenders who lend money to pro athletes and to superstars and stuff like that through brokers. So what they would do is they would target those brokerage firms. So you got this company set up that has a name that's similar to the superstar. So you go to the broker and you say, this company, this name of this superstar wants to borrow $10 million. And so they look at your documentation, which by the way was forged. So they allegedly submitted fabricated personal financial statements because like You are the entity, so it's a personal financial statement. Fake bank statements, forged tax documents, they went all out to make him look like the NFL player that he was trying to get money for. And so those lenders, they thought that they were dealing with a verified NFL superstar because there was a trusted broker on one end. So they moved fast because you loan that money out and you're going to get interest payments coming back in. Because those aren't usually long-term loans, right? Now, here's where it gets even worse. A lot of the fraud was committed virtually. Because, normally what would happen is when you close on the loan, you got to go to the bank in person. You got to have a notary there with you. Well, now they have digital notaries. You ever used a digital notary?
No, I never heard of those.
I've used one.
Huh.
I updated my will last year because, I was like, hey, my family's trying to kill me. No, I'm just kidding. I did update my will. I updated my will last year, the year before, I think. And I was like, I don't feel like going to a notary. And I got a digital notary.
Interesting.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So while on camera, he would wear wigs, makeup, whatever he needed to wear to look like this celebrity.
This is where I wish we had it digitally set up where we were not actually in the same room, and I would just be like, bye, and just like disappear. That would have been smooth.
That would have been real cool. That would have been real cool. All right. So look. So what do you guys think so far about this? Isn't this crazy? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Ocean's 11 meets Mrs. Doubtfire. You know what's funny? I didn't even plan that joke. That just came on the spot. I didn't even plan it. Heck, I mean, you've heard me before. Most of the stuff I say is not planned. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I bet you're wondering though, how much money was he actually able to get away with? That's the golden question. Now, in the first case, he secured a loan for about $4 million. In the second case, there's another 4.3. And in the third case, it was approximately $3.3 million. All of this happened in 2024. Here's what's funny about the third one. Apparently, he was wearing a do-rag and had a fake Florida ID. Isn't that crazy?
What's really bad is whenever I saw, I think it's like a headline or a sub-headline, whenever I saw do-rag, I read it as drag. I was like, man, that must have been one ugly woman.
Wait a minute, Bob. He's picturing Biz Markie. Wait a minute. Okay, so wait. So Stephanie, are you talking about the Drewski skit of
no, that was a movie.
Well, no, but I'm saying that's what Drewski looked like when he impersonated Eric Kirk. He looked like the Wayans brothers in the White Girls movie. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I don't even know what to say about this one because, okay, if you're just joining us, we're talking about a young man who was a college football star, couldn't quite make it to the NFL. So he decided that he was going to impersonate NFL players and get loans from specialty lenders, because when you're rich and a celebrity, you get a specialty lender. But to do it, he dressed up. He impersonated those NFL superstars. He wore wigs, he wore makeup, he wore sunglasses, and they allegedly set up a series of shell companies in order to make this thing happen. That's just insane now, isn't it?
It's a lot of work too.
Yeah.
Another one of those is like, if you're going to put that much effort into fraud, why don't you put that much effort into a real job?
So Shri is here and she says hi to everyone. So listen, but here's the thing, to your point though. Okay. What was the end game here? Because on what planet did you think that you would not get caught? And here's where I'm going with it. So you get all this money that was a loan. And so if you don't intend on paying it back, at some point the celebrity is going to, it's going to hit their credit report or something, and they're going to be alerted, and they're going to say, I never took out this loan. And so it's foiled at that point. Or do you really need a short-term loan and you plan on paying it back? Like, what was the end game here?
Well, so he had what, about 11 million, 4 and 3, so about 11-12 million dollars. I would guess, especially if it's all in 1 year, does his end game disappear? Take the money and run?
But is 11 million really enough?
No, but I mean,
But he wasn't the
people
brightest,
don't-
right? We
right.
already know that. Okay, yeah, point taken. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Because anybody else listening, what would be your end game if you did? In order for me to disappear, it would have to be, I don't know,
have to be a lot.
a lot,
A lot.
because I wouldn't want to disappear.
Yeah. A
So,
lot of, yeah, it'd have to be enough to be willing to move to a country that you're not going to be recognized in.
and with no extradition laws,
No
if you are
extradition.
recognized, yeah.
You know?
Now Russia has no extradition to the U.S.
Yeah, but it's Russia.
You're right. So that's the funny part. What would really be your end game? I don't get it. So in total, they managed to get 13 separate fraudulent funds. Think about that. 13 times they fooled a room full of bankers, lawyers, and notable people.
Now, I'm not going to jump on the same bank I always do, but do we know, was it successful through like the same bank, or was it bouncing around between different banks?
Well, it was specialty lenders, so
Okay.
yeah. I don't know, because when I read one of the affidavits, or the affidavit, I don't think they actually identified the bank.
Okay.
But all in all, I think they got 13 loans for a total of about 19 million, which is still not enough to disappear, because you got to split it with the other people.
Yeah.
But again, what is the end game? They literally registered businesses with the state of Georgia that could be traced back to them.
Oh, that's almost like, what was it? There was another one where they had stolen, there was the one that they had a whole bunch of stolen cars out in the front of their yard.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it was like fraudulent IDs and some other stuff, right? It's
Yeah.
like, obviously, you're not going to be very smart, but you don't put it out front, right? You don't register it with the state if it's going to be, if you're trying to commit fraud. Like this is one of those cases where the investigators are just saying thank you.
Pretty much.
Thank you for making our job easier. Especially if this was 2024, then, and if the charges are coming out now, that means they had most of what they needed in 2025, most likely.
Oh, for sure.
So this was a pretty quick case, it seems like, for them to gather all the evidence for.
Yeah, which is why I'm wondering, what was the end game? Now, the players, one was from the Browns, another one was from the Packers, and another was from the Falcons. 2 people involved in this are expected to plead guilty on April the 27th when they go back to court. Uh-oh, he's laughing at something. What did you find?
Look at the comments.
Look at the comments. Okay. Now, this is a good point. Lisa said it may not hit the celebrity credit report unless he had his Social Security number.
Yep.
And then Lisa said I would have moved to Africa, blended right in.
That's what I was laughing about.
Wait, Stephanie said, was he not making enough money? Stephanie, he never made it to the NFL. He was a college player. The NFL dreams went kaput. And we see why. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. We see why, because he wasn't that bright. Like, there is absolutely no way on any planet that this fraud scheme goes anywhere. There are too many connecting components that can trace it back to him, them. No. So yeah, Stephanie, he wasn't making enough money in whatever he decided to do. So yeah, that's and whatever that thing was, it wasn't the NFL because he did not make it there. So, oh my goodness. Okay, so there was a forfeiture list of things that they purchased, and I'm really trying to. Okay, let me say this. Before I say stuff on here, I like to have my notes all together with some of it, and for the things that they forfeited, I can't find the source right now in my notes. So I'm gonna skip that for a moment while I also talk and look and stall all at the same time, right? I'm multi-talented. But here's the part that's real funny. When the FBI raided his residence, they didn't just find like ledgers, here's where the money is. They found SFX studio makeup studio. Um, they found lace front wigs. Not everybody's gonna know what a lace front wig is. Um, and so they found wigs specifically designed to match the hair of his targets. They also found prosthetic kits, professional looking silicone, to put over your face and change your facial structure. They also found voice modulators. What was that cartoon character who always had his voice modulator?
Oh,
they found voice modulators, and they found a do-rag collection. I'm sorry. they found Lisa. They found a do-rag collection. Okay, and so now Lisa, for real though, she said this is why celebrity has collateral. No due diligence, no KYC, no know your customer. Banks are required to do. They're required to comply with something called know your customer, right? So, what I'm wondering, are you required to comply with that if you are a specialty lender? So I don't know. If you're not a chartered bank, then maybe you're not required to. Thank you, Stephanie. I knew somebody was going to. Marvin the Martian.
Oh, yeah.
Who had his voice modulator.
So it does say that they bought real estate, jewelry, and cars, according to the complaint. So if they were able to buy that stuff, they know they bought that stuff. I assume that that's being held or being eyed at least for collateral on this.
Okay, so if you found it, here's what I have. All right. So the forfeiture list. There was a Roswell estate, Roswell, Georgia, and that was kind of the centerpiece of the heist, multi-million-dollar mansion. It served as the home base for the sports management company.
Okay, hold up. They took almost 20 million.
Yep.
They had a multi-million-dollar house.
Yep.
They had no plans to go anywhere, even though they had registered companies in Georgia. Well, the investigators were definitely saying thank you. Like they probably could walk to his house.
Get this, they would host potential clients at the home. And this is okay. Now you understand better why I asked. What was the end game?
Yeah, and the end game was prison.
That's what I was about to say. Maybe you know what? That's a good thing. I mean, a good observation. Maybe they needed a home so bad. They needed what we say back in the day: 3 hots in a cot.
Yeah.
They needed 3 hots in a cot so bad that this was how they decided to get, housing, lodging.
Uh-huh.
Okay, they had high-end luxury vehicles. Some of them were purchased outright, some of them were leased using stolen identities. So now there were a lot of cars. Some of them, they had a Mercedes Maybach, Range Rover, at least one Ferrari, and I think that's it for now. Now, they had jewelry, custom jewelry, including a diamond encrusted watch and championship styled rings. And he would wear those to events, because he was impersonating football players. So he had to have on his bling bling.
So I've mentioned, I'm sure I've mentioned before on the show that I teach 10th grade young men on Sunday mornings in church. And I tell them not to let their identity be wrapped up in whatever they do, play football, basketball, baseball, choir, band, whatever. It seems like that's what this guy did. His identity was a football player. And whenever he got out of college and was no longer a football player, he didn't know who he was. So he was literally impersonating who he wanted to be, even though he was no longer that.
Yeah. Just crazy.
Sad.
Okay, you say sad, I say crazy. Yeah. Oh, Lisa said he bought everything but a passport.
I like it.
And yeah, isn't that like well, I guess a trap house for the rich, huh? Hey, Bob, it couldn't have been for the Cowboys.
No, he would have been on the team if he was.
Oh boy. Woo, boy. But think about this though. Okay.
He would have been a starter for the Cowboys. Sorry.
He probably would have been. So, okay, I asked earlier, had anyone ever met a celebrity and all? And I asked a couple of other questions. Let me ask, have you ever been starstruck? Like really starstruck because you saw somebody?
No. So they're trying to like think if I've ever. I haven't been around that many celebrities, so that's helped.
Yeah, me either.
You know,
Not
and I'm
many.
even trying to think if I saw someone like walking down the street, if I would just be starstruck. I can't really say I would be. I was having a similar conversation with my son recently about how used to like so Steven Spielberg. Spielberg used to be a huge name in movies, but if you look at the movies over the last 20 years, he has like two that were really big. So in my son's opinion, he's 17. Spielberg's just another director. He's just another, like, he's not that big of a name.
True.
You know? And so, but now even with like actors, are there any specific actors who are like, oh, I have to go see that movie? And for his generation, honestly, even like for me now, no, not really. But if Christopher Nolan was walking down the street, I'd be starstruck if it was Christopher Nolan. I mean, all I have to do is see the name Christopher Nolan. I'm going to see the movie opening night. It doesn't matter what it is. So in those instances, maybe, but otherwise, no, I can't say that I've been starstruck. But I'm sure there's been a few that are watching that might have been. Now, of course, if Nolan Ryan walked in, Nolan Ryan is a different story. But I mean, I'm a Texan, so he's just, him and Chuck Norris are like,
oh, Chuck Norris, man. You know, he's dead now.
I know. Well,
I just want to meet Justin Bieber. I'm joking. I'm so joking.
You're a Swiftie. Get it right. Come on. Man.
Bieber and Taylor, man. Yeah. No. Okay. So what about you guys? Anybody, have you ever been starstruck? Just completely starstruck. Oh, now Bob, yeah. Bob said Sting, the wrestler, when he was in his makeup and platform boots, he was intimidating. Oh, yeah. Sting would have been a cool one to meet. So would Bret the Hitman Hart. So I saw Hulk Hogan close up.
He seems like he'd be a nice guy.
Seemed like it. He's dead too now.
Oh, he is, isn't he? I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
I am a real American. Yeah. I used to love Hulk Hogan growing up. Uh-oh. Bob says Troy Aikman too. Didn't realize it was him at first. Ah, okay. All right. That's it's pretty cool. I don't know if I've seen a few stars before, but I've never been like starstruck. I'm kind of like, yeah, they are just people. But Lisa is correct too. They do hold some sort of star power.
Now, it has been interesting though, working conferences with you. Because we'll be talking to people. Yeah, we'll be talking to people at our conference booth, and someone will come up. I love you, Robert Berry. I've watched you on this podcast or Friday Fraudster. Saw you speak somewhere. So I mean, you're kind of a celebrity in the internal audit world.
Okay.
I'm starstruck.
I don't know if that's anything to brag about. I'm a star auditor. I don't know if that. Oh boy. Shree says yes. Robert has groupies. Are you kidding me? Stop it. Just stop it. Stephanie said Troy Aikman came to her middle school when he played college. But
All right.
nice. Okay. But were you starstruck? That's the question. So check this out now. Davis and his partners managed to pull out 13 separate fraudulent loans. Now think about that. 13 times? A room full of brokers, lawyers, notaries. All of these people looked at this man with this wig on a Zoom call and said, yeah, that looks like him. Think about that. And what makes it worse is they didn't get hacked by a computer.
Yeah.
They actually got hacked by a costume from the costume shop.
You didn't use AI, like all of this stuff about AI deep fakes and all this stuff. And yeah, makeup and a wig or do rag. Come on.
Oh, and what's real crazy is what was the end game? I'm still stuck on that. Okay. For those of you who are just joining us, look, these dudes allegedly impersonated celebrity football players and convinced specialty lenders to give them money, loan them money, not even to have, up to $19 million. And with that money, they bought houses, cars, jewelry. How do you look if you're gonna wait? Okay. No, I'm stuck on how do you steal from a loan?
Yeah, it's not like they were investing, they were buying Bitcoin hoping that it would take off, or, they were just sitting there spending
it. Oh, look, now Lisa says, Rob, you got fans like that. Lisa, no.
everywhere.
Lisa, do not listen to Shree or Thomas. No. I walk in the room and I just sit down, and then when it's time for me to do a speech, I get up and I do my speech, and then I sit back down.
Does anybody actually believe that?
It's the truth. Now look, Lisa's like, could have been any black folks in the room. Oh boy. Yeah. So Bob says, were they paying on the loans? No, Bob. No. They weren't even. Okay, see, Bob is further helping me.
Yeah.
What was the end game?
Yeah.
So even with the PPP loans, we all know or knew even before those loans got distributed that they were most likely going to be forgiven.
Yep.
So those really weren't loans. So that was our government handing money out. Uh-oh. Now Shree says that she and Thomas are not lying.
Nah.
And she also says that she has pictures. You do not have any pictures. You do not. AI. I'm calling AI. That's what I'm saying. It's all AI. It's all AI until somebody pokes an eye out. Tell them it's all AI. Now, Bob is saying Thomas is kind of a big deal.
No.
Look, Lisa kind of right though. Lisa's like, we know gang. Look, you all hear how sometimes I just say stuff, just blurt stuff out. Just like, wait a minute, that looks like a wig. that would be one of the first things I would say. Wait, that looks like. Can you tug on that real quick? I just need to see. Better yet, can you get some Kleenex and do the smudge test? I need to see. We use props on this show too.
So, but okay, I know that's being said in jest, but I do kind of wonder if anyone of a different race was looking and questioning the same thing, but didn't want to say something.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden have some kind of a lawsuit or something like that about however you want to call it. So I wonder if maybe someone did think that, but thought, oh, it's a cultural type of thing, and maybe they didn't speak up.
And if anyone listening did think that, speak up. If they had spoken up in Minnesota, we wouldn't have had all that money missing. Just speak up. The world isn't as crazy as social media makes it out to be. Let me just say that. There are some people out there with a lot of sense who don't agree with all the craziness that's happening in the world today.
That I agree with. Yeah. Speak up, but have an HR rep with you when you speak up.
No, a lawyer.
Yeah.
HR rep. A lawyer. I'm going to call my attorney. Here's mine, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know what? Okay. In all seriousness, I'm kind of glad to see Bob and everybody else just as confused as I am. Because I'm reading the story and I'm like, okay, part of it I get. I get the pressure. He didn't make the kind of money that he thought he was going to make. He didn't have the lifestyle. I even get the rationalization. I deserve it. Now, I'm not saying it's the right rationalization.
Right. Yeah.
But I can
you can see it.
Yeah. But I don't understand the motivation behind this particular scheme. It seems like one that was destined to be caught.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely destined to be caught. Thinking about the fraud triangle, we haven't brought that up in ages. So remind me what it is. You've got.
Yeah, I just said two of them: rationalization and why am I drawing a blank right now? Because I'm still trying to think of the motivation behind this. This is blowing my mind. Opportunity.
Yeah.
So you got opportunity, pressure, opportunity, and rationalization. Goodness, why did it take me that long to think of those? So I can see the pressure, I can see the rationalization, and I can see the opportunity that he had.
Yeah.
Actually, he made the opportunity. So that was more of a choice. It wasn't even like it was right there sitting in front of him. They made a choice to conspire, allegedly, to get this done. Just weird, man. Just what was the end game? And then how, we've asked this question before too. How much is enough to actually just leave and go to a country with no extradition laws and to be on the run for the rest of your life?
But he clearly didn't have that plan.
Right. But 20 million isn't enough either.
Mm-hmm. No, he definitely. Now, so he was part of the 2009 national championship team. So he graduated somewhere around 2010, 2011, I assume. What is he saying?
Bob says maybe the we ain't that good.
So you're talking 14 years after college that he did this. What was he doing for 14 years?
Maybe scamming other people?
Maybe. Like I can't believe that one day he just suddenly thought, you know what? I'm going to start scamming people. Yes. If this was right out of college, he's jealous of the other guys that made the team, made it to the NFL, okay, but that's just insane.
That's a good question. And so I'm actually looking up the answer right now because I am so very curious myself, because in some articles I read, it said he was trying to continue his lifestyle, something like that. Okay, so he wasn't in corporate America. Let's see, what was he doing? Now I'm really curious.
We'll be back in 2 seconds.
So, So it looks like he had been allegedly scamming the entire time. He was a middleman for agents and financial advisors looking to bribe SEC recruits and active college players, which kind of makes sense, right? Because you got NIL now, name, image, and likeness, where a lot of players are making a bunch of money.
But when did NIL come out? That was like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
This is a little longer than that.
So this was the pre-legal NIL.
No, I think legal NIL has been a few years. Let's see. So that was one of his things. And then he was doing sports management. Yeah, so it's been 5 years for NIL. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like 8 years before that.
Yeah. So, okay. Oh,
I
man.
like proving you wrong in person. It's kind of fun.
Oh. But apparently he was in sports management too. So that's the other thing. And they're speculating that he likely survived on kickbacks and consulting fees. Interesting.
So in other words, what I'm hearing is he was a college athlete. He was decent. Didn't make the pros. Stayed in the sport for a while, but he never really found his true identity. So he just kept allowing just working in fraud and all that until it just escalated.
Probably so. Lisa said he was probably eating an edible and came up with this scam. Right?
Yeah, that's legit. Yep.
And this is a good point. Lisa said he's like all fraudsters. They steal but never figure out what to do with the loot. Bob said this is Johnny Mizell pre-NIL. Lisa said he was unemployed. No, Lisa. He was fun employed.
Yeah.
Fun, because he was having fun employed. Yeah.
Oh, you know what though? So he was, we're kind of joking about NIL, right? Before 2021, it was illegal for players to get money. And so it was pretty much known that players would get money unofficially through back channels and guys like this.
So maybe he was, that was kind of broker.
He was doing that kind of thing, right? Yeah. Well, then all of a sudden NIL comes up and he's like,
his business is dead now.
He's not needed anymore. And so he pivoted over to this.
Yeah, that makes good sense. Yeah. Wow. So that means even when he was scamming though, he must not have been good at it, because presumably you'd have enough money saved up to be okay for a little while if you were really good. Because you're talking millions of dollars that potentially could have been going to.
Yeah, but how many people make millions of dollars and are broke?
True.
I mean, if he had a multi-million-dollar house, he was spending it faster than he was making it, probably.
True. Look, if I ever make millions of dollars, I am not going to be broke.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you will never see me again if I hit a certain $1 million number. You like, I remember Robert. And then
whatever happened to him?
Right. You'll see somebody walking down the street with a wig on. You'll be like, it's just somebody impersonating me. You'll never see me again.
So if you don't ever want to see him again,
give me millions.
Look into IA Stream for your internal audit platform. If enough of y'all do that, then we don't ever have to put up with him again. There you go.
So let's talk about IA Stream, the best audit management platform around. Look, we just came back from a demo. After the demo, they said, yeah, we're sold. Okay, they didn't say those exact words, but what they did say was pretty doggone close enough to it. In all seriousness, if you would like to see a demo of an audit management platform that connects the work that you do from beginning to end and helps you show the value to your organization of internal audit, contact Thomas.
Don't contact him. Contact me.
Yeah. I'll be sitting there, or I'll send my robot to attend the demo call. But contact Thomas. In all seriousness, it is a very good system. And I don't want to make a blanket claim, but if you use it appropriately, you will streamline a lot of your current processes, which means you'll save time on certain things. And we all know time is money. So
I'll put it this way: whether the people this morning use it or anybody else, I'm going to be using it for my own clients at RVMC immediately. So it's got to be efficient. It's got to be good. Otherwise, it would just cost me time and money. So it's got to be efficient. It's got to be good. I love the dashboards.
Should we talk about nah.
I don't know what you're referencing, but yeah, sure.
We will talk about certain things right now. we have more to come. That's all I'll say. Just more to come. All right. Did we miss anything on this one? I think we kind of.
Well, especially since it was do-rag and not drag. Other than that, no.
Oh my goodness. All right. So thank you for joining us this week on Friday Fraudster. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
But we're not going to be together.